What's up, everybody? This is Unbiased Boston Talk. Today we're going to talk about Terrence Bud Crawford versus Shawn Showtime Porter. The weaknesses, the strengths of both fighters, who I think is going to win, how each fighter can win, how each fighter can lose. Just got off work, Thirsty Thursday, having a little fun, you know. So I wanted to make a little video. I always say that, but it's always a little bit longer. Like I said, if you could do me a favor before we start this, jab the like, subscribe, help me out. Just trying to find some people to talk with to the point where I can have a live stream and we can all go back and forth. Because that's what I really want. I'm good at debating. I'm not very good at just, coming off the top of the head. I make a couple notes so I don't forget what I'm going to say. But other than that, pardon me. But like I said, is Porter going to KO Bud? That's what Porter said, right? Porter's going to knock out Bud Crawford. I'm wondering what you guys think, because I don't think that's going to happen. But here's my proof of why I don't see Porter KOing Bud. His last knockout, it was a TKO against Andre Berto in April of 2017. 4 years ago. Before that, it was 2014 against Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I mean? So he has two knockouts, two TKOs, not knockouts, in the past 7 years, and in the past 11 fights. And now all of a sudden he's gonna knock out Bud. And I understand everybody says Bud's chinny. I don't know how he's chinny all of a sudden. He's went through let me fix that. He's went through all amateur career, never got knocked down once. His pro career, never been knocked down once. Hold up. I don't know if I should smoke in this or that. But Bud's never been knocked out. Me personally, I don't think that knockdown with Igis Kavalauskas was a knockdown. He did hurt Bud, and then he went to throw a punch, and it caught Bud right underneath his arm, and he threw him down. But the punch that hurt him, and he fell down. So if you want to score a knockdown, okay. It is what it is, Name your top 10 greatest fighters of all time. They've all been dropped. That means nothing. You know what I mean? Every great fighter gets hurt in every fight, buzzed. If you've ever been in a fight, you get hit and you see a little light, a little flash. You know what I mean? Everybody's been there. That happens every fight. You know what I mean? Unless you're fighting a bum. Sorry, give me a second. But Porter hasn't KO'd. He's KO'd 2 people in the past, 7 years? Now he's going to knock out Terrence Bud Crawford. It's possible. It's boxing. Everybody gets hit. People get hurt. Every fight, like I said, it's possible. I just don't see it. And if your argument is Little Gamboa, you can make the same argument. Terrence Crawford sucked weight down to 135. Wasn't as strong. And if you watch that, he got cocked. He came in and did the stanky leg, you know what I mean? But it's possible. To me, it's a 60-40 fight in Bud's favor. Made a little effect on. Now I look like I got an orange nose. That's crazy. Okay. Holy crap, that scared the shit out of me. Excuse me, look at this. Oh, a little cat just ran. What the fuck? I look up and the cat's meowing at me. That's funny. Give me a second, and I'll get to Porter's strengths and what he can do against Bud Crawford to be successful and win that fight, okay? Like I said, hit the like button, subscribe, do what you can for me. But we all know, unless you're casual, Porter's strengths, his athleticism, his pressure, how he's able to move angles. He'll be right here in front of you, he'll dip to the side, and hit you again. But his bigger strength to me is when he his awkward angles of when he throws punches. You know what I mean? His punching angles is a lot different. He kind of roundhouses it. And Bud's never fought somebody like that. He's fought pressure fighters, Jeff Horn, Felix Diaz. He's fought them, but they didn't have a roundhouse. They would run in and Jeff Horn would do a straight. You know what I mean? Like it didn't look like I had much power, but he was a big guy. But all I'm saying is that's his biggest advantage to me because when you watch Bud fight, when he backs up, he always has his hands down. He tries to like slap your hands away, and he'll leave his head wide open. Go watch what fight was I watching the other day? It was the Felix Diaz fight right after the Blood, Sweat, and Tears Part 1, which I loved both of those. But screw ESPN 2 because it was supposed to be on last Sunday at 2 p.m. and it was on. They had some lacrosse or something stupid on instead of that. Terrible promotion, you know. But anyways, he's never been stopped, Shawn Porter. Right, we all know that. And his chin is what makes about. I've never seen him hurt. I've seen him stunned where he drops down. You know what I mean? And then it gets it in the Earl Spence fight. He'll touch the ground, and you see his eyes roll in the back of his head. You know, and then he'll come to it just like that. And once again, pardon me. I've had a little bit thirsty Thursday. Might be a little bit longer podcast, but you know, he's got a flash knockdowns. I've never seen him, you know, on Queer Street, whatever the hell they call it. You know, where he's hurt and he's just sitting in the corner, he can't get his legs back, knocked off his equilibrium. I've never seen that. So that's his strength, right? I mean, just weird angles. He's always coming forward, kind of like Hispanic fighters, where he just wants to brawl. And his athleticism, he doesn't get enough credit for, where he can go to one side, get that angle, and hit you, you know. And then also, he'll be back, and he'll lunge in. And that could be a great tool to have. To me personally, not in this Bud fight. And for all you people that think I'm loving on Shawn Porter, blah, 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 I love how Shawn Porter is as a man, his character, how good of a talker he is, and how real he is, it seems, you know. But I'm from Omaha, Creighton Blue Jays, 402, you know what I mean? So I'm a big Bud fan, but I'm a realist. This is unbiased boxing talk. We don't sit here, I ain't like other channels that just, I love my fighter, he can't lose. If he loses, there's an excuse. Mark Breland poisoned Terrence Crawford and Shawn Porter's water, so the fight was terrible. You know, I'm not gonna make up those stupid. But Shawn Porter's weaknesses, right? That's all the strengths I see: athleticism, his pressure, his angles, and his awkward punching angles, his roundhouses. You know what I mean? And his chin. So I mean, that's a lot. You know what I mean? But his weaknesses, he's reckless. We all know that. He, like his dad said, if you watch that Blood Swim, if you do what you want to do, you know what I mean, you're going to lose. You're not going to be successful. Do what I tell you to do. You know, I'm watching you. I can tell what you're doing wrong, right? I need you to listen to me so that way when that fight happens, you stay disciplined and you go through this repetition. And you do it so much that it's second nature, you know what I mean? But he's reckless. He leaves himself open during exchanges. We all know that, right? Like, he starts swinging like that Spence, you know, and then he'll get up in his fight, and you know, he's just reckless. But I mean, that's Shawn Porter. That's what makes him a great fighter, a fun fighter to watch. But it's also his downfall. And his other downfall is he smothers his own punches. He'll get in real close, you know what I mean, and it looks like a hard punch because I bet you Shawn Porter has a lot more power than you actually think. But because you're leaning on each other, I mean, there's no hips, there's no legs, there's no drive into it. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. And then he lunges in, and once again, like I just said, that I'll get to Terrence Crawford, but that's gonna be the thing where, like I say, he's an athlete. He can step way out of reach, and he'll just jump in real quick, kind of like a generic Manny Pacquiao. Now I think about it, right? He'll just come in and just start jumping and lean, and that's going to be the wrongdoing. for me, but we'll get to that. But he will have success. Like Felix Diaz kind of did the same thing. And if you go watch that fight, do me a favor, go watch that fight. It's only what 25 minutes, until Felix Diaz corner his coach threw in the towel. It's not that. Go watch it though. Crawford got hit a couple times. I was watching it after that blood, sweat, and tears, and I was watching it with my mom. Actually, I was over at her house, and she said, "Oh, I've never seen Terrence get hit like that before." So it was just amazing to see. Like, and if you know Felix Diaz, his only loss was against Lamont Peterson, and everybody knows he got robbed against Lamont Peterson, and that's fine. But we all know Felix Diaz is here, Shawn Porter's up here. Kind of the same style, but Shawn Porter's more athletic and far better at what he does than Felix Diaz. You know what I mean? But Felix Diaz had his moments the first 3 rounds until Bud started tapping on his head. There was a point where in that fight, sorry to get off subject, he was just looking into the corner at his trainer. Nope. And Felix Diaz just didn't want no more. He didn't even throw a punch. He was just like, I'm done. You know what I mean? But pardon me. But that's Shawn Porter's weaknesses, and like I said, I'm going to give you my prediction. That's his weaknesses. I'll get to that. But how can Porter win? It's going to be a tall task for both fighters. Like I said, 60% for Bud, 40%, which is a lot. You flip a coin, that's supposed to be 50-50, and you're getting 5. You get what I'm saying. But how can Shawn Porter win? He's got to keep Bud off his rhythm. If there's anything I know about Bud Crawford, sorry, let me fix this. I won't light up another smoke. I'm new to this stuff. I don't do it very often, but I know boxing. I know sports. That's why I can't wait to do lives. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. So that way we can go back and forth. You know what I mean? Hold up. How can Shawn Porter win? You got to keep Bud off that rhythm. If you know what I'm talking about, when Bud starts dancing and he gets that rhythm, he's got you figured out. He's got that supercomputer working. He's got you figured out. The fight's about over. That's the first thing. But if he can keep him off, like Igis Kavalauskas, this week, this actually just came up to me. The reason why Igis Kavalauskas had a lot more success in that fight than most was, for one, Bud Crawford didn't fight the fight he normally does because he knew he was supposed to win. And since I'm fighting this dude, I'm going to knock him out because that's what everybody's already mad I'm fighting him. Let me go knock him out, right? But Igis Kavalauskas had a great game plan in a sense where Bud is one of the best counterpunchers I've ever seen. Me personally. He's great. You know what I mean? So Igis, people say Bud's a slow starter, but he's not. He's waiting for you to throw a punch so he can time you and hit you back. But Igis stayed so patient, where it came to the point where like Bud wanted to appease everybody else, and he wanted to come forward and attack and knock this dude out. Well, he just said, "All right, I'm coming for it," which is when he got clipped. You know what I mean? So he just, if I was Shawn Porter, do enough to take the first couple rounds. Like I said, everything I got to come back to because I don't want to say too much because my main prediction. You know what I mean? But keep Bud off his rhythm. Give him a good fight, just do whatever enough to win the rounds. Keep him off rhythm. And if Bud starts getting into the rhythm, jump in like he always does and lunge in and start swinging and make it a brawl. That's his best shot at that point in the early rounds. Make it a brawl, make it ugly, and the refs will technically always at the beginning of fights, in my opinion, will always give the round to the guy that's more active. Bud, which is why people think he's a slow active fighter, he's waiting on you, so he's not as active as the other person. If Porter steals the first 3-4 rounds, like a lot of fighters have done against Crawford, Crawford's in for. We'll get to that. All right. So just don't let Crawford get comfortable, which you say he's not going to do. But that's a hard thing to do. Oh, next point, I get ahead in the later rounds, put pressure on him. What'd I say? On Bud, and make him be the aggressor, which is. So I pretty much just said it. Make Bud come to you. Don't go after Bud in the early rounds. Make him come after you. Because Bud has all the world on him. Like he said, it's a win-win for Shawn. It's a win-lose for me. He has everybody looking at him, and he's got to shine. He's got to knock him out. You know what I mean? In all the haters' eyes, even if he knocks out Shawn Porter in the first 10 seconds, Spence ruined him. He's gonna have, you know what I mean? That's what's gonna happen, you know. And so he just gotta let Bud come to him. That's me. So first thing, only way Porter can win is keep Bud off his rhythm. Don't let him start dancing on you, sticking out the tongue. Don't let Bud start doing that. Don't let him get comfortable, you know, where he bounces. Get ahead in the early rounds. Put Bud in a hole so where he has to come after you. And then next one, only other shot. So there's 3, which is still a lot. Now here's 4. Hurt Bud with that one shot where he either KOs him, stumbles him, like Gamboa. But Bud has always shown great recovery time. But he has to either knock him out with one punch or stop him. Or, actually, I'll give you 5. Bob Arum has this whole thing set up and he's going to rob. You know what I'm talking about. Got the judges in the pocket. He's just going to rob them. Right? Would be surprised. Thursday. I might start doing my podcast every Thursday. Have a couple shots every Thursday. This right here is brought to you by how does Bud win the fight? Once again, I'm going to keep bugging you guys. Hit the jab the like, hit the subscribe button. Because I'm unbiased. I'm from Omaha. I know Bud's family. Met his mom. I met his nephew. You know. Bernie the Boxer. Shout out to him. How does Bud win the fight? This is where it all comes down, where it's like, I wrote down 3 or 4 things that Shawn Porter how he could win the fight, right? And now I got a whole list of how Bud can win the fight. Let me see. Let me move this over. And I can go off the top of the head, but I just remember I write a couple. I just jot down notes like the thing like right here, set pace, boom, and I go off of that after that off the dome. You know what I mean? Set the pace. To me, Terrence Crawford is the most like. Completely different sport. I know it sounds crazy, but if you know sports, you know what I'm talking about. He's like a lot like LeBron James in a sense, where he can dictate the court. If he wants a high scoring match or high scoring fucking ball game, LeBron can dictate that. If he can make it an 80-80 game. LeBron is great at dictating the pace of the game, which is what nobody gives him credit for. You know what I mean? He's a quarterback. He's every coach. He's everything. That reminds me a lot of Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, when he fights, he dictates the pace. Everybody says, Kell Brook, and if you go back, Kell Brook says, he made me fight that way. He dictates the pace because he comes out and he's the pound for pound best. You don't want to just be reckless because you're worried about that power that he's had. He stopped 9 of the last 10, right? You're worried about that power he's had. So he dictates the pace and he makes you wonder, why isn't this guy doing this? So you're tentative. You're more worried about what he's going to do and then what I'm going to do. And that's the biggest thing, which is why like LeBron James. He can remember Golden State Warriors, which is off subject, but against that Cavaliers team, you know what I mean, with Kevin Love hurt, Kyrie Irving, he held the Golden State Warriors to 89, I think it was 89, 90 points by himself and almost won the game. But it's because he dictated the pace. He's the quarter. He could slow the game down and just manage everything, and that's what Terrence Crawford does. And I just see Shawn Porter has to interrupt that. He can't let him, and he says he's going to. He says he's gonna not let Terrence get comfortable, not let him do that. Get moving on him. We'll see, but that's what he's got to do. He's got to make Terrence more uncomfortable than anything that I've ever seen. The most uncomfortable I've ever seen Terrence is with Gamboa, and it wasn't uncomfortable. It was that supercomputer he has trying to figure out how am I gonna, just trying to figure him out. But if Shawn Porter even does that, it's over. He's got to make him fight his game, which is just brawl, brawl, brawl. And we all know Terrence gets hit, and he wants to hit you back immediately. Because even in, actually, I never realized. Sorry, my computer went out. I never realized when Terrence said so my computer screen went off because I didn't touch it for so long. I'm sorry, I forgot. But when Terrence hits you, or when you hit Terrence, he's gonna hit you back. And we all know that. And he even said in the press conference, you know, you know, if you hit me, I'm gonna hit harder. If you come at me, I'm gonna come harder. Pause. Terrence Crawford crazy. He can't talk. He's just a silent killer. We all know that. Wait till my prediction, right? And who I'll put my money on at the end. You know what I mean? But Shawn just has to keep him off balance. He has to. How does Bud win? Instead of trying to do that super computer of trying to figure him out, he's got to do just enough to win those early rounds. If Bud wins the first two out of 3 rounds, 3 out of 4 rounds, it's over. But Bud don't like to do that. He wants you to come to him, which is why Egas had success. Kell Brook even had success. They just sit patient and wait for him, which is what scares me because now I feel like everybody knows. But it's just a matter of time until Bud gets you because he has that power. That power came up with him. But the second thing, what did I say? Porter. Oh, yeah. If Bud wins the first 2 rounds, that puts so much pressure on Porter to go after Bud, which is where Bud excels. If Bud gets those first couple rounds, I don't know. Like I said, I know them. I know Bomac. I know Team Crawford. I don't know Bomac. I mean, I know his mom. It seems like they don't put enough emphasis on getting those early rounds because Bud is such a elite counterpuncher that what they should do is try to get those few early rounds and then after that make them come to you. You know what I mean? And then because his elite counterpunching, to me, he's the best counterpuncher in the game by far. There's absolutely nobody in boxing that is a better counterpuncher. I'm trying to think. Only one. Tank. That's the only one. And it's not close, but Tank's power when he does hit you with that counterpunch, it's devastating. Right? Hold up. So that's how Bud wins the first thing. That I said, remember, Shawn Porter had 3 or 4 things where he could win. That was the first one. He has to box. If we all know Bud Crawford, that Victor Postol fight, everybody said he ran. He dropped Victor Postol twice, hurt him 3 or 4 times, and at the very end was slugging with him. And then everybody says he runs. Who cares? Everybody said Floyd Mayweather ran. Right? Who cares? You know what I mean? All you have to do is win, 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 win. And I'd be happy if Terrence Crawford outboxed him for 12 rounds and ran and just outboxed him and won every round. Everybody else would hate it. But that sells, because now you're just waiting for that one guy, like Floyd Mayweather, that one guy to come in and just knock him out. You don't have to be liked. A lot of people hate Terrence Crawford, and I have no idea why. You know what I mean? He's a great role model. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't talk, doesn't drive drunk, crash his car. I love Spence in the ring. Outside of the ring, not my favorite. I want to tell my son to be like him. I'd rather have him be more like Bud. You know what I mean? That's besides the point. Shout out Spence. Hope his eye's doing good. Hope he comes back stronger than ever. And I hope we get that fight that we all want, right? But Bud doesn't need to fall into that slugfest. You know what I mean? Like eye for eye. You hit me, I'm gonna hit hard. I'm gonna come. You come, I'm gonna come hard. Pause. Don't do that, Bud. Don't do that. If he hits you, shake your head, stick out your tongue, do whatever you gotta do. Just make it look like it wasn't nothing. Besides, I remember when that one fighter, who was it? The corner, they always combed his hair, his trainer, to make him look fresh. You know what I mean? Because that puts, it's all about what the judges see, obviously. I don't know why that popped in my head, sorry. But then, what I put next? Right. I said Bud tends to escape with the hands down. He'll back up, he'll lean like this. Kind of like Ryan Garcia, if you ever watch Ryan Garcia, which is why he got dropped by Luke Campbell. And that's kind of what I'm most worried about is Bud. 95% of the time, he's going to make you miss by an inch. But he does get clipped. Against Hank Lundy, he got clipped. Felix Diaz, he gets clipped. Jose Benavidez never, like, clipped him where it hurt him, but hit him. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm worried about that. Because it seems like he just gets lazy. He figures you out, and he relies so much. I figured him out. And he does. But it just takes one. And I think, like, now he's going to be on full, you know what I mean? He's just going to be ready for that moment. I just hope that the pressure don't get to him in a sense where I have to knock him out. I don't care if you run in the eyes of all these casuals and just box them and win. You know what I mean? Even if it's 7-5, you know what I mean? 7 rounds to 5 rounds. I don't care how you win. Spence beat him up. I forgot what the scorecard said. Split decision on all that. You know what I mean? But who cares? Just win. And then here's that. To me, Bud is the best. One of the best. Canelo and Bud. 1A, 1B. I don't care, vice versa. They break you down to the body, to the head. And it's not even necessarily physically. Mentally. They tire you out. It's a chess. You're playing checkers. They're playing chess. Everything. The feint. You start biting on everything. And then they just set you up. And it's like you can't keep up. You're so worried about everything that you can't keep up with what they are trying to do. You know what I mean? And while they just have a supercomputer where they can see 10 steps ahead of what you're going to do. And they're just setting you up the whole time. So I just think Bud is going to wear him down to the body, to the head. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's going to be an exciting fight. I'll be disappointed and super happy. Like I said, I'm a Bud fan. I'm Team Crawford. You know what I mean? I'd be super happy if Terrence knocked him out with the first punch he threw. But I know he wouldn't get the credit if he deserves. So I kind of hope that it's a tough fight for the first 4, 5, 6 rounds, and then Crawford just levels him. But that's what I hope. Not my opinion. Let me get to where I think who's going to win. And of course, just like I said for Porter, though, that one-shot knockout where he hurts him. But we all know Bud's the best finisher in the game. If he gets you hurt, it's over. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's over. You know, like, he's just coming. Pause. He's just coming to get you out of there. You know what I mean? And it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. He's the most accurate fighter. Him and Canelo, which is why I have no hate on anybody that says Canelo's pound for pound number 1. Especially this year because Canelo's active. Even through the COVID, the pandemic, Canelo's active. He might not fight who you always want him to fight. He's active. Right. Right here, let me get my prediction. I got this little piece of paper right here, and I didn't really write much, so right here I'm going off the head. What am I at? 28 minutes almost. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's Thursday. Figured I'd do a little video. But I got Bud by TKO, or Kenny Porter is thrown in the towel. That's my prediction. Or stoppage, but I have it late rounds, not round 9 through 12. I just think Bud breaks him down eventually. Just body shots. Remember that throw punch that he hit with Felix Diaz? Once again, a side note. I just think Bud's too long, too smart, too fast, too cool. I don't know if he's quick anymore. To me, prime Bud was at 140. Now he's 34. He looks like he's bulked up and went for more power. But we're going to see. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's going to box more like Victor post-fight. Everybody think he's going to be coming in there slugging. I don't see that. I think he's going to box, and everybody's going to be booing. And at the later end of the round, after Bud gets up, he's going to start fighting in the later rounds and just try to, appease the crowd. But I got Bud, like I said, winning by TKO. Kenny's going to throw in the towel, or the ref's going to stop it in between 9 and 12. Round 9 and round 12, right? Now, the last point. Here, let me give you a little breakdown. I see it. Porter getting the first. I think it's going to be like 1-1 after, the first 2 rounds, and I think it's going to be close. And I think I don't know, for some reason, I think Porter's just going to think, like, it's on ESPN, I have to stop him, I have to come forward. Sorry. I have to stop him, the refs ain't going to give me, I don't know what, I just feel like it's going to be real close. And if Bud wins any of the first couple of rounds, he's done right there. because then Porter has to be that fighter that comes after you. And like I said, Bud is the best counterpuncher I've seen in 20 years. I'm 30 years old, watched boxing for a long time, and Bud, he's so precise, and it's not. I don't even know if he has power like that. He's got fucking huge hands. I mean, it's pause. I mean, his hands is just huge. You know what I mean? But it's his timing and where he's so precise and where he hits you at. It looks like that he chops down at somebody. It looks like when he chops, it looks like he's aiming for the temple. Like I don't even know if he means to, but it's like he's always hitting you on the button. I remember this movie when I was young, The Three Ninjas. Remember that little dog that lit up, ping, ping, like that little karate movie or whatever. He hits you in the right spots, and I don't know if it's intentional or luck or if he's just gifted like that. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. But let's go to my bet. I know this is going to be absolutely crazy. Well, here, I don't know why I put this above this, but I wouldn't be surprised with a draw at all. Like I said, I think Porter's probably going to get out on an early lead, 3-4 rounds. And to me, if I was a fighter, I'd let a fighter, and I'd be very inactive. I know it sounds crazy. I'd be very inactive. But then once you pick it up, even if you don't win the round, you picked it up from the last round. So judges will give it to you because it's like, oh, he was losing, and then now he did better that round. You know what I mean? It's all an opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised with a draw at all. Like I said, what I say, Porter's pressure could win him the first 3-4 rounds. Like I don't even know why I wrote this down. And that's it. And then Bud picks him apart later. What I said later. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bullshit. Maybe Porter could win the fight and he gets robbed. Or vice versa. I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? But if I was going to put my money down, actually I am. I'm going to put money down. Here's my bets though, right? I'm putting a parlay, which ain't much. I'm not trying to get rich off of this, but I'm putting Bud wins, and I'm putting by, split decision, or not split decision, but by decision, and I'm putting over 9.5 rounds. I'm doing a little parlay with that. I'm gonna throw $100 on it. Boom, whatever. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna put a Porter wins by split decision. I don't know, actually, now I'm thinking about it. I'm going to actually put, just because, I'm going to put probably $20 down on Porter to win by a knockout. You know what I mean? Just because that's where the money's at. And that, what was it, plus 700 last time I seen it or something. Definitely put my money on that, Oh, excuse me, but I hope you guys all hit like I said, jab the like, hit the subscribe. Comment down in the section. Disagree with me. Hate on me. Whatever. Oh, actually, you guys want to top it if you guys made it this long. Spence. Great fighter in the ring. I hate that dude outside the ring. Piece of shit. Dances on dudes when he's drunk. Kisses on dudes when he's drunk. Wrecked his car when he's drunk. Still, what was that? Canelo fight. He's at the casino drinking. I don't care. He's a grown man. He can do what he wants. Stupid. If I almost died because somebody shot me and I was in the streets, I'm getting the fuck out that life. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't learned. That's what I'm saying. He just stupid to me. Not a role model, but everybody loves Spence. Hate that shit, bro. How do you hate Bud Crawford? All he does is fish. Chill at home in Omaha, Nebraska. You know what I mean? Like, where I'm from, 402, shout out you. All he does is win fights, make money, take care of his family, take care of his kids, be a great dad, be a great husband to his wife he's had forever. You know what I mean? Don't drink, don't smoke, don't drive drunk. Don't even talk in the media like that, and Spence does completely everything opposite. And most people like him because he's from the streets. I mean, he's not actually from the streets at all. Let me get that straight. He's not from the streets at all. But he lives more of a street lifestyle now. Terrence Crawford lived it when he was young and grew up and grew out of it. You know what I mean? So I guess a lot of people relate to that bullshit that he be going through. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman 2.0 is done to me. Love him inside the ring. I hope he gets back better than ever. But he's got Keith Thurman 2.0 with worse injuries. Fighting, twice in 3.5 years. Maybe 4 years now. With worse injuries. Like, he's done, bro. Like, where's he at? He's becoming irrelevant, just like Keith Thurman. Absolutely irrelevant. So come on, Spence fans. Come on. Come hate. Comment down there. Hit the jab and like. Subscribe just for me. Even if you don't like this video. Because the more people I get, I can go on a live stream. And I can have people come in. And we can bullshit. We can talk. Disagree. Agree to disagree. It don't matter. Just hit the like for me. Jab. Subscribe. Like I said, Terrence Crawford. You'd be surprised. Hey, I'm going to leave that up. Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence. Who do I got? Hit the jab, hit the like, subscribe, comment, and I'll even reply to you in my comment. And I'll make a video and I'll send that video right to you personally, and then I'll go live. So you know what I mean? Just jab, the like, subscribe, hit, you know what I mean? And everybody go have, I don't want to give no free advertising. Go get that Thirsty Thursday with the that was for all my people. Shout out 402. Shout out Porter. Shout out Crawford. Shout out Bud. Bernie, the boxer. Red, Saul. Everybody. Deborah. You know, Mom's Bud. Bud's mom. You can tell I'm getting tissy. But everybody, let's go. Get hyped for this Saturday. Buy the fight. Don't stream it. Even if that's your favorite fighter, you can get it for free. Pay the damn money. That way the fighters get the money. You know what I mean? That's how they feed their family. We all know they got money, but you know they got money now. Let's set them up for generational wealth. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a little fucked up, but everybody have a great night. Comment, jab, like, subscribe, hit me back, comment, talk shit, and I'll be back tomorrow. 37 minutes, perfect. I'm out. Unbiased Boston Talk. Everybody have a good night. Peace.